What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Full Court Talk. Today we have a lot to get to. We're going to try something new. We're going to do choose between players or duos purely off of basketball skill, either in their prime or right now. And then we'll talk about Russell Westbrook getting kind of like torn apart here by the media, more than usual. Should LeBron or Anthony Davis have stuck up for him? I put this topic in before the reports came out about Ben Simmons. I guess he's not even able to play one-on-one yet with his back issue, so we're going to change it. What are the chances Ben Simmons plays this season? And then a short topic for the last one. Pop breaks history. He is the winningest coach in NBA history, cumulative with playoffs and regular season, so we'll talk about that. But the first one, I'm going to put CJ and Myles up to the test. We're going to have 5 different players or duos, and they're going to tell me who they think is better. In a brief, explanation, we'll give it to them. So the first one, we're going to start off with Jordan Poole or Tyler Hero, purely off of basketball skill right now.
Ooh, I like that. Because in a sense, they have the same role right now. And I understand Jordan Poole's a starter. And Tyler Hero had an abysmal sophomore year. But team success and considering how this player has played recently, and it's going to give it away, but when he came back from COVID, I think that's really when he stepped it up. I'm going to go Poole. No, I'm not a Secret Warrior fan. I'm going with Poole. I think I'm going with Poole because of how Steph trusts him to make that right play. And he's just fun to watch. And I think with the role that he has between him and Tyler Hero, I'm taking Poole just because of how he contributes to the success of the Warriors and where the Warriors are at right now. And I understand that Tyler Hero contributes a lot to the Heat too, coming off the bench. And I think there was a stat recently that ESPN Stats and Info came out with about how he scored another 20-point game off the bench. And I think no one has done that for a little bit. And, I think it's just one-on-one, bucket-wise, Poole is nasty. I hate to say it. Yeah, and I'm taking him. I'm taking Poole party for one.
As every Warrior or Laker thing related, I'm going to preface I'm biased, although this is no bias, I promise. I'm going Tyler Hero because Jordan Poole's playing with Steph Curry. That sometimes you don't need to overthink it. I think Hero does more for his team, and he's needed to do more. Which is I'm not if you switch the roles, I'd probably pick Jordan Poole. This is such a good comparison though because they're very close. Skill sets are very similar. But yeah, I'm very bought into roles. Tyler Hero's probably the 3rd best player, 4th best player, you could say. Poole is maybe 4. So that's why I'm going Hero.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I'm going with Jordan Poole. Bias answer, I don't care. The dude, his bag is so deep. I mean, it is crazy with some of the shit that he comes up with. I think I always come back to Andre Iguodala saying he beats his man 3 or 4 times before he even puts out the real move that he wants to even beat the man. I'm going with Jordan Poole. He's fun to watch. That's all it is. But Tyler Hero, that's nothing against him. He is nasty. He's finally putting it together. I'm going Jordan Poole. So the next one, I think you guys are going to like this one. James Harden and Joel Embiid as a duo. I would say in their prime, but they don't really have a prime together. So we're going to say right now against Shaq and Kobe.
Oh, God. Right now? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Kobe. Yeah. Wait, so just to clarify, because it's Shaq and Kobe when they were playing together, but it's Embiid and Harden right now.
Yeah, because they don't really have a prime because they've just got on the same team together.
Okay. If that's the case, then it's Shaq and Kobe. Not even close. Going off of that, I didn't tell you guys this, but that game against the Nets that Harden had made me feel like he's past his prime. We can talk about it another time, but it's rough. But yeah. And it didn't look good tonight either. There's still a month or so left before the playoffs start. But yeah, I mean, the easy answer is Shaq and Kobe, 3-time, could have been 6-time. Yeah.
Before I move on to this topic, I'd like to say, what Myles said about Tyler Hero having an extended role. I definitely agree. I didn't even factor that. So I just want to say that he's right about that. But this one right here for me is a no-brainer considering how Harden and Embiid are now. It might have been closer if they played earlier together, right? And, I do want to say that this is my non-biased opinion, but this is a perfect example of why things cannot ever be completely perfect. Because in a perfect world, if Kobe and Shaq got along, that duo would be a no-brainer, the best of all time, right? And they did what they needed to do, won the ships, and then had their misunderstandings and disagreement. But pound for pound, what they did was just incredible. I don't see a duo like Harden and Embiid matching up to that. Although Embiid individually is like a tremendous player, and he would probably give Shaq a run for his money. But if you're talking duos, especially in that run that they had when they went 15-1, no brainer, man. Kobe and Shaq all the way.
Yeah, I only put this in because of what Shaq said. I think someone asked him recently, like, who's the better duo? And he definitely was going with Shaq and Kobe, obviously. This is disrespectful to Shaq and Kobe to even compare them at this moment. As Myles kind of said, James Harden, after the honeymoon stage of the trade, he has not looked good. I think it's 3 or 4 games in a row. He's kind of put up some pretty bad games, especially against the Nets, where you thought he was kind of going to go off. And he went 3 for 17.
Oh yeah, he was horrible.
Yeah, I just
bullying him.
Abysmal, bro. Man, that's crazy.
In high pressure games, I think James Harden feels it, and I just don't think he can perform. And he's always been like that. You seen Game 7 against the Warriors when they missed 27 threes. He doesn't perform in high pressure scenarios, and I think that's been a huge problem with him. If he can get better at that, it would obviously help the Sixers. But yeah, I'm definitely going Shaq and Kobe. Easy pick. So this one is gonna follow them for the rest of their careers. You guys probably know it by that, but Luka Doncic or Trae Young?
You had to ask right after Trae dropped 40 in consecutive nights, man. Oh my God. I mean, honestly, bro, if you're looking to run a team, obviously you want somebody like Luka. To me, I'm gonna go with Luka just because. I mean, he does everything, and he does it in the pace that I move. Slow.
Like that.
Man, the things that he does on the court, although he does have his antics where he likes to complain and all that stuff, he just makes everybody around him so much better. And I think my point on this has been cemented, with what he's doing with the Mavs right now without a secondary star. KP was it, but obviously nope. Right now he has Dinwiddie, right? And so I'm taking Luka as much as I love Trae, as much as I love that villain role that he portrays of himself and how he's a Steph disciple and all that. I just have to go with Luka. Luka's been a winner from day one. I know it's kind of hard to translate right now with the Mavs, but I have faith that he'll pull it together and eventually go on that run in the postseason. But I'm going with Luka, man. It's just that dude's a magician. So Luka for me.
Yeah, it's really close. And like you said, it'll stay with them for the rest of their careers just because they were traded for each other. But I'm also going Luka because I think he can make more out of less. Like the Hawks have a very good supporting cast around Trey. You got John Collins, you got Bogdanovich, Capella, deep bench. And Luka 2 years in a row took on the Clippers pretty much by himself. Even in that first round last year, Kawhi was healthy for most of it, then got hurt. He's had a couple step back game winners in the playoffs. And again, yeah, that's with Porzingis as his second man. And now he doesn't even have Porzingis. I think their second best player might be Jalen Brunson, which is saying a lot. I mean, he's good, but he's not a he's not a second tier guy for sure. So, but yeah, like still got love for Trey, how he plays. Like I know he's undersized. I hate to make these comparisons because no one's Steph, but like he's probably the closest thing we've seen. And that's obviously not easy to do. But yeah, I'll take Luka overall.
Yeah, I think this one's kind of like stacked against Trey. Luka does so much on the floor. He rebounds, obviously great facilitator, great scorer. Trey Young's obviously a much better facilitator. Actually, I don't know if you could say much better. I think they're very close because Luka's passes are insane. Obviously, Trey Young's a great scorer as well, but I think Trey Young's kind of like one-dimensional to me on the offensive side. You know what he's going to do. Luka, you have no idea what the hell he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to focus on inside game, outside game. You have no idea. That dude is so crafty. And I think this season has kind of exposed Trey Young for his lack of leadership because I think coming off such a great season last season and then coming to this season where they're the 9th seed and barely even staying in that play-in spot in the East, kind of exposes him as a leader, I feel like, but definitely going to go Luka on this one. And then for this one, this is kind of stemming off what LeBron keeps saying, how he keeps getting disrespected as a scorer. So let's put him up against who I think is the best scorer in NBA history, KD. KD or LeBron, just as purely as scorers, nothing else, just going up against their scoring ability. Who would you guys pick?
Man, I want to pick LeBron so bad, but it's KD. It's KD. Just like he's a 7-foot shooting guard. Like he's just literally unguardable. You only have to pray that he misses. But to LeBron's credit, he has evolved his game more than probably anyone we've ever seen. Just the fact that he's such an efficient shooter now. Free throw line, that does not apply, but we're not talking about that. But I can't like there's nothing. There's really nothing both can't do on offense. But if I had to pick one dude to get me a bucket to save my life, it'd probably be KD.
No disrespect to what LeBron's doing in year 19, because what he's doing is freaking crazy. And how he's leading, the league in scoring, or almost leading the league in scoring. But I know we're not factoring this, but I'll take the guy that can shoot a free throw easily. I'm going with KD. Easy money sniper. Come on, man. Like Myles said, damn near 7 foot. Can score just about anywhere. All right. You want to face up? All right. Face you up. You want to fade away? You want a 3 off a crossover? Give me that. It's straight buckets, man. And I know LeBron is capable of doing those things. Some things that he's more capable of doing when he was younger than now. But I won't discredit LeBron for being a scorer this season. But it's just KD is literally unguardable, like Myles said. And I'm sure Spencer thinks the same way. You put your hand on his face, you have to pray that he misses. There's just no way. Facing up, and KD is, for a scorer, simply scoring, he is the greatest scorer that, the game has ever seen, because it's just, he can do it in many different ways, not just a jumper, slashing everything. And at his size, at his frame, that's what makes it more impressive. So, yeah, I'm going with the easy money sniper with this one.
Yeah, I think we're all in. We all got KD. I think for me, what LeBron has done over these past 2 weeks, even in the losses like the 56, the 53, it's ridiculous in year 19 what LeBron's been able to do. But KD is he's something else. He's a 7-foot guard. Can get any bucket from anywhere. And I think when they talk about pros, they always say in the pros, good defense is more about getting into someone's face. You can't get into KD's face. It's different. KD just misses shots. It's not good defense with it. He's just flat out the best scorer I've ever seen. His 53 the other night, it was effortless. The shots he was hitting didn't even hit rim. It's ridiculous with him. So I got to go with KD. The last one is the MVP race. So Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid. And they played the night. Joel Embiid had a better statistical night, but Jokic got the win. Who are you guys picking?
I'm going to go with Jokic. Love Embiid. I like Jokic just because he makes everybody around him better through passing. And I know Embiid can do that as well. And Embiid is a dominant big. I mean, the guy is hitting step-back jumpers the way Harden does, right? He's traveling, but he's doing it, right? And he's so dominant down low. But Jokic running a team, all I have to say is this. Jokic doesn't have MPJ, doesn't have Jamal Murray. And this is similar to what, head coach said. But he has him in good position in the playoffs. And, he was MVP for a reason. And like you said, Spence, MVP race is getting tight between those two. But I have to go Jokic, man. We've never seen a passing big like this before. And, the closest one was Andrew Bogut. No, I'm just kidding. Right? But, Jokic, he's everything that he does on the court. I'm going to make this same joke. He moves like me. He's slow, but he gets it done, and it's just where the Nuggets are at in the Western Conference. I want to remind everybody, Western Conference, for Jokic to be doing that, it's crazy. And, it's hard to stop him too. Embiid is dominant, but it's hard to stop Jokic, running the floor and posting up and doing all that. So I'm taking Jokic on this one.
I'm also taking Jokic. In terms of MVP, I might pick Embiid this year just because the Eastern Conference is tougher. But as players overall, Embiid is way more athletic. So he's better on defense also. But yeah, just like what CJ said, the way Jokic runs the team, take him off there and they're probably a lottery team. Not probably, they are a lottery team. Yeah, the way he runs the offense from the post, from the wings, from the top, from anywhere. He even had a play today. He had a fast break and he had a nice bounce pass to Jeff Green. Fast break. It wasn't a fast break. It was just a break. But I mean, yeah, there's nothing he can't do. I would even compare him to LeBron in a way where he's kind of positionless offensively. Defensively, he's not because obviously he can't stay with the guard. But yeah, I would feel very secure building my franchise around him. He does. I don't think he needs a top tier second man with him to win.
Yeah, I think Jokic is actually ridiculous. And I'm just gonna say Kevon Looney, locked them up the other night, but I'm just a Warriors fan, but
celebrate the small wins.
You just gotta
take it when you can. It's all good.
Just gotta put that out there, But But no,
Hey, one has rings, one doesn't, right?
exactly. So I'm going Kevin Looney. No, I'm kidding. Jokic is ridiculous. I mean, what he's been able to do offensively, and I think defensively, he's kind of coming around. I don't even want to say a decent shot blocker because I think he can get like 3 inches off the floor, but he actually gets a lot of steals for a big. I think he's averaging like 1.6, 1.7, something like that. So Jokic is a decent defender. Joel Embiid's obviously much better, but I think the way Jokic impacts the game is just so much deeper because he's taken a Nuggets team that is just really bad in all senses and propelled them into the 6th seed somehow. They're a game and a half back from the Mavericks, and we've never seen someone like him. I don't think we ever will see another guy like him because I've never seen a big move like that. His Euro steps are predictable, but they get so many defenders off balance because of his passing ability. So I'm going Jokic. So that's tough. I think I'm still going Jokic for MVP because of what he's been able to bring the Nuggets to do. And when you talk about most valuable player, I don't even know how they judge it anymore, but he has been the most valuable player in terms of his team, and where they would actually be without him is pretty ridiculous. But going on to the second topic, should LeBron or Anthony Davis stick up for Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook has been getting torn apart by the media recently. So I want to know what you guys think, because Steph Curry came out and defended Russell Westbrook. I think it's an unlikely person to have that. But do you guys think that LeBron or Anthony Davis should have stuck up for Russell Westbrook through this whole thing?
I kind of do, but in an indirect way. If they came out publicly and like stood up for him specifically, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I want them both to acknowledge that they both signed off on the trade. Maybe even it was their idea, if it was. Like that would kind of shift blame from Russ to them. But also I wish Russ would just like own up to it. You can't act like you're not playing like garbage. Like if you are, just acknowledge it and people will be less upset. They will be upset, but you can't be mad at someone for telling the truth unless it's like horrendous, you know? So like I don't really care for LeBron or AD standing up for him publicly, but if they would acknowledge their roles in this whole situation, I think that would be enough for me.
No, I'm just kidding. What I do want to say is this. I like what Myles said. AD and Bron have to indirectly address it because I am pretty sure they had a huge role in acquiring, whatever you may want to say, Russell Westbrook. And I do want to say this. Every time a family member or family members get involved in these threats, it's taking it too far. At the end of the day, it's just hoop. And I understand the Lakers are a franchise that has a, history of winning and all that stuff. But don't get the family involved. You know what I mean? Like if you want to talk smack about the player, do that. But all the death threats and all that stuff, it's ridiculous. But first of all, them not standing up for Russell Westbrook, AD and Bron, shows that they are in favor of him being shipped out, right? I think if you're in a team, for example, me, Spencer, Miles are on a team, and anybody's ever talking badly about you guys, it's just a rec league or whatever. I'm standing up for my guys because you guys are my teammates, right? And these guys are professional athletes, and you have Steph standing up for him. You have people tweeting about Russ, like Miles Bridges, and saying, that don't ever let them forget his game and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if they were, considering themselves brothers and all that stuff, and they want to figure it out, then they would have said something already. They would have stand up for us. But I respect Steph already, and for what he did, I respect him even more because they're competitors at the end of the day, and he didn't have to do all of that. But I definitely respect and I appreciate Steph for that. And who doesn't say yes to a Russ Steph swap? I mean, I'll say yes, right?
Facts. Put it out
You know?
there.
Or
What
hey,
about Bielitsa?
I'll take pool party for
Yeah,
one.
you could, I mean, yeah, you could throw him in too. Shoot, we'll give you guys Bazemore back.
Oh fuck no!
He's always ready.
Yeah.
Oh, I know he is.
Hey,
He's fresh.
chop wood, carry water.
Yes, sir.
But like I said, it is just sad because when you're part of a team, you look out for one another, you stand up for one another, right? Whether it's direct or not, but they're not doing any of that, and it's kind of suspicious because like Miles said, and I previously stated, they were the ones that pretty much signed off on this, and for them not to have his back, it's kind of puzzling to me. But they're not obviously inclined to do it, but it would be a good look for the team bonding and togetherness that if they did as the leaders of this team. But that just goes to show it's adding another fuel to the fire that is the Lakers season. So very unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that they should have stuck up to for him in some capacity. I mean, let's not act like Russell Westbrook's a bum. He's not a bum. He's not having a terrible season. He's having a bad season by his own standards. 18, 7 and 7. The efficiency is decent, 43%. 28% from three is horrendous. 66% from the free throw. So it's a decent season. I think the thing is he's being unfairly pointed as the scapegoat for this whole thing. And I think a lot of Laker fans should have known what they were going to get into when Russell Westbrook was signing up. I know you guys knew exactly what you were going to get into because I know you guys are like cautiously optimistic about the whole thing. But you guys knew that it could have gone wrong, and it did, right? We're seeing how bad fits in the NBA are, and like this should be like if an owner like looks at this and says like, okay, this is a bad fit, so I won't do that with my team. This is a warning because Russell Westbrook has been not good for the Lakers, and they knew what they're gonna get. He runs 1,000 miles an hour, and he has no way to slow down. We've seen with the Rockets, the Wizards, he does not want to change. He never will change. He's not going to become a shooter out of nowhere. He's not going to play off ball. He's not that good at off ball. So I don't think it's all his fault. I think if anyone is going to be the scapegoat, it should be Rob Pelinka for the roster construction or whoever signed off on all of these signings because the team is just so poorly built. I know LeBron said like, oh, don't make fun of my team. Like, yeah, we're old, but we're skilled. Like, whatever. Y'all are old as fuck. It's bad. Like, it's really bad on how old this team was. Thinking DeAndre Jordan was even going to be a remotely good for that team was kind of stupid because he had not been good with the Nets, and to think he was kind of going to turn around on the Lakers was bad. But I think he's just being poorly, or he's being pointed as the scapegoat, but I don't think he is the scapegoat he's not the sole problem is what I'm trying to say. So I think they should have stuck up for him in some capacity, but it's tough. It's tough because I know that it's not fun to be scrutinized every day in the media. And he's not used to this because he's played in smaller markets for his whole career. So it's not fun, especially when your kids are starting to get old enough to understand what people are saying about you. And they probably don't even know what he was like in his prime.
I want to push back a bit on some things you said. I do think Russ is the main problem. And it's both directly and indirectly because you're right. It is a bad fit. But everything you said, you pointed out, relates back to the trade. Because if you don't trade for him, then you have more money to get younger guys, better guys, instead of waiting, like you said, for DeAndre Jordan and Trevor Ariza to save us. Like it all starts with Russ because he makes so much money, and at that point, your choices are limited. Like we were super fortunate to get Malik Monk on a cheap deal. Imagine if we didn't have him. So and like again, Russ is at fault because he won't change. Like that's kind of why Melo got pushed out of the league because he wouldn't change. Now he's a good role piece because he has changed. So until Russ accepts that, I think he'll never be blameless. And of course, I don't stand by talking garbage to his family, his wife. Like that's all out of bounds. That's all weirdo behavior. But everything on the court, I believe, is fair game. Like that's the life you chose. And again, it's on the court. Even the whole Westbrook thing, yeah, it's like slippery slope, but it's just saying you can't shoot. It's not an attack on your character.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So again, like he makes the most money on the team. Remember that fun game we do? Oh, who makes the most money on this team? It's Russell Westbrook. And if it was a different player, then it would be their fault too. So yeah, and like it's just a sensitive topic because it's Russ. He's such a lightning rod for media scrutiny. But I mean, the problem does start with him, not that other parties aren't faultless. Because again, LeBron, AD, Rob Pelinka. As much as I don't want to blame Frank Vogel, maybe him a little bit too, but Russ is the main problem, whether it's his fault or not.
Yeah, I do agree. Russ is at fault for a lot of this as well. LeBron and AD going to meet with him, and I think they should have looked at it and like kind of taken a step back and said like he's never changed. Why would he change now? And like, what is he like 31, 32? Russ isn't going to change. Like he's not a focal. He's never going to be a focal point on a championship team, and he never could be because he wants things run his way. So I think at that point it is his fault. So it's definitely tough. I think for the Lakers, I think they're done with this experiment, and I think you guys are done with this experiment. So I think you guys are ready for next season, and I hope you guys get a better point guard than Russell Westbrook because it's tough to see you guys down by 23 to the Raptors.
See, we're not checking that. Who's seeing that?
The Lakers are playing?
They don't care. Why should we?
Oh, it's 88-65 with 51 seconds left, just in case you guys couldn't watch.
Good
Scotty
Lord,
Barnes
dude.
at the career night, 35 points.
No, he's only got 21. Only got 21. But
Okay. Well, he still got time.
anyways, going on to the next topic. What are the chances Ben Simmons suits up for the Nets this season? What do you guys think?
To be perfectly honest, I didn't think he was injured. I thought he just wasn't playing. I didn't know there was a lingering back issue. Obviously, like I don't know people in Ben Simmons' camp personally, but from what I was seeing on social media, that he was just staying ready wherever he was needed, or whenever he was needed. And I didn't know there was a back issue. I was really hoping to see him play this season. I hope he plays this season. I don't know the severity of the back issue, but I hope that he does because at full strength, the Brooklyn Nets are going to be fun. Ben Simmons carrying the point guard duties, KD, Kyrie finally playing off ball. It's going to be fun. And like I said, to be perfectly honest, I don't know the severity of the back issue. I hope that he can return in time for at least the first round. I mean, that's wishful thinking, but yeah, at the end of the day, I never knew there was a lingering back issue that Ben Simmons had.
I can't find any like official reports on this back injury. Everything I'm seeing is like from fans saying, "Oh, he faked it because he doesn't want to deal with the Philly heat." Like I thought it was just all the mental stuff still. But going off of that, I think he does suit up. Um, whether it's 2 weeks or a month from now, because again, like as CJ said, the Nets are so good. Like I don't know how it's kind of getting slept on because I guess because there's so many good stars now, but watching Kevin Durant play, it's like, good lord, we lost a year of that. Uh, yeah, he's insane. I think for some reason, since he got hurt, I can't put him as the best player in the world just because he got hurt. But he doesn't look much different than how he did before. So if someone said he's the best player in the world, I wouldn't be mad at it. But yeah, I think he suits up just because again they're hot, and if Kyrie can get lucky with all the laws in Brooklyn, then they're a real title contender.
Yeah, I haven't seen any reports about Ben Simmons' back injury. All I've seen is that Steve Nash said that he's not ready for even one-on-ones yet. Um, and that's all I've seen. I haven't seen a single report saying how he hurt his back or when he hurt his back. So I think they're keeping it pretty quiet, which is a bit of a concern for me. I hope he comes back soon because I want to see the trio of KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons play on the same court together. I think it would be a more seamless transition than most big trades just because of how Ben Simmons plays. And I think KD should be kind of used to that kind of play style playing with Draymond. Not saying that they're very interchangeable, but they're very similar in some ways. Um, who knows when Kyrie's going to play full time? I don't think it's anytime soon, seeing how New York is kind of pushing back at it now. He's allowed to be in the arena now, just not with the team. So it doesn't make much sense to me, but I'm not there to point at that. But I hope he does come back soon because he needs to get used to the team at least before the playoffs. Because I don't think throwing him into the fire against playoff basketball is the best choice of action. But you never know. Maybe he's ready for it. But with high stress games like that, maybe he can't handle it, and that's what I'm kind of worried about. But man, if he just pulls up from three in his first game and he hits it, Sixers are gonna look pretty bad. But I think either way, okay. Let me ask you guys this: who do you think is gonna be the winner of this trade? The Nets or the Sixers?
Man, oh man. I I don't know. It's kind of too early to tell. I know, Harden has a history of having successful debuts with a new team, and since then he's kind of been bad. Um, in the long run, I'm gonna have to go with Brooklyn because of the pieces that they got alongside Ben Simmons. It definitely helps in all aspects. Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, the best Curry. I'm just kidding, but you know, um, in the long run, with the pieces that they received alongside Ben Simmons, definitely helps this case for me. And with Kyrie and KD and Ben Simmons as your facilitator, I think they'll only go as far as Ben Simmons can help lead them, right? And I think defensively they're also going to be a nightmare. Ben Simmons and KD, they've recently stepped up. Well, obviously Ben Simmons isn't playing, but they recently stepped up their defenses in the past couple of seasons. So, in the long run, I think Brooklyn is going to win, and I think it's because Tyrese Maxey, Embiid, and Harden, underrated big three, but it's just with the way Harden's been playing right now and his track record, it's really hard to gauge how far they'll go. But yeah, Brooklyn I'm going with Brooklyn on this.
It's so hard to not get caught up by recency bias. I know not even 30 minutes ago I said maybe Harden's past his prime. But like this is just a couple of games in with his new team. I want to give it a minute. I feel like we won't get the answer until we see whether Philly wins the title or not. Right now the answer is Brooklyn just because of again how things are going currently. But I want us to revisit this after the season and after next season because if the Sixers can get a title within those 2 seasons, then it's them. If Brooklyn gets a title time, either the next 2 seasons or after that, then it's Brooklyn. I still have faith. I know we kind of overrate Doc Rivers as a coach, but he's still a good coach. I believe the fit with Harden and Embiid will work. It just takes a minute. So yeah, I'm gonna right now I'll say Brooklyn, but I think just because I think Philly can win a title, I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Nets just because I think Seth Curry was a great get for them. He's I think he's super underappreciated in the NBA world just because of how much he does for offenses. And pairing him up with Kyrie and KD, I think is going to be really nasty. So I'm excited for that. Plus, you put Ben Simmons back with Seth Curry. He's going to get a ton of open looks. In the long run, I think the Nets would have a better chance just because I'm not super confident that James Harden is able to perform in the playoffs. Because I think the last couple of seasons, he's really kind of fell off in the playoffs. So I'm kind of worried about that. But maybe as the second guy, maybe he can perform a little more. I think last season was tough because he was dealing with the hamstring injury and no Kyrie. I think it was a bit of a shock for him, maybe. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Nets just because I think in the long run, they'll have a better chance to win a title. But the last topic we're going to get to, small little topic, Greg Popovich becomes the winningest coach, like I said. 26 seasons in the NBA, 1,336 total wins, 3-time NBA Coach of the Year, 5-time champ, 22 consecutive winning seasons. I think this is pretty fair to say, but there's probably no one in the NBA that dislikes Greg Popovich. I think he's like one of the most likable people in the NBA. He's been doing it for so long, and he's done on the Spurs for his whole career. It's crazy that he has been in the NBA. I didn't even realize it's been 26 seasons. So I'm happy for him. I think it's crazy that he's just been able to continue winning with such great teams, even on these bad teams, kind of putting it together and at least having a winning season. But what do you guys think about Greg Popovich?
Yeah, man, he's an all-time great coach. I'm honestly surprised he's still coaching. I thought after Kawhi left and the way that all went down, I thought he would have 1 or 2 years left max. But I'm glad he's still around. I'm glad to see him coach a young team because obviously when he had Duncan young, we were also very young. So we didn't really get to see and analyze that. But yeah, like he's probably one of the best coaches to get the best out of his group. And you're right. There's no one in the NBA who dislikes him. Maybe Kawhi, but I'm sure they're over that. Yeah, just congrats to him. I'd say hopefully they get a playoff spot, but I'm not going to because that'd be over us. So maybe next year, Pop.
Yeah, I want to congratulate Pop, one of the all-time greatest coaches. And, during that era of when Kobe and the Lakers were dominating, he was the only one that really put a fear in me because he knew he had to figure it out how to play the Lakers and how to play them well. And, you know, he's a unique coach as well. You know, he's known for how he responds to interviews, and it's just hilarious, right? And, you know, I really appreciate how he treated Kuzma during USA. So that's another thing I want to highlight. But, you know, one of the greatest coaches of all time, huge milestone. I feel like he won more than what's, you know, being reported. It's crazy. 1,000 wins when it comes to an NBA coach doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. And yeah, like Miles said, it's when he was coaching the Timmies and the TP and Ginobili, all those guys, we were still fairly young. But now you can see how well he puts a team together. And I know the standings don't show it, but you know, DeJounte Murray's an all-star. They got Lonnie Walker, my guy Trey Jones, and so like they have a bright future. And I want to agree with Miles. I am surprised that he coached past a year or so after the Kawhi trade, because I thought he was done. And I remember seeing reports that he was going to retire, and all that. And I'm just surprised that he didn't go through with it. And you know, I hope to continue watching him coach. Obviously not against the Lakers, but it's just, you know, Pop, it's hilarious the way he answers media questions and all that, and how he treats players. You know, you guys know that video that's been going around for quite some time where, do we trust Patty to not get his third foul? Everybody in favor, raise your hand. And they all raise their hands. You know, I think that was hilarious. And he's coached some great people and, you know, earned some guys some contracts. And so I don't know why I just thought of DeJuan Blair right now, the guy with no ACLs. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
He was nice
right?
before, that's why.
No,
He was.
he was nice, you know. And so shout out to Pop. I hope to see him continue coaching even more past this season.
Yeah, I think obviously a huge accomplishment. One of the GOAT coaches of all time. One little small thing. So since it's Steph's birthday, what's your guys' favorite Steph moment?
Ooh, careful there.
I'm gonna clip this and make you guys Warrior fans.
My favorite moment is when he got blocked by LeBron in the final. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, though, you know, I hated it at the time because obviously I was rooting against him. But his shot in 2016 against OKC to win that regular season game, I will always remember that because that was so badass. He pulled up from damn near half court, and you know, everyone knew he would take a three. Everyone knew he would make it. The way he danced on everyone like that was chef's kiss, literal chef. You know, like, and that was that time in the league where, for some reason, they like decided to make the 3-point line light up on the TV screen whenever people shot the three. I'm glad they got rid of that. Yeah, just that whole game was insane. That whole season was insane, and that's definitely one of the biggest moments I remember of him.
For me, it was when he came back during Portland. He said, "I'm back," and then he got roasted the next game. No, I'm just kidding.
I remember that.
But when he did it for Lil Saint. Oh man. No, honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with Miles. My favorite Steph moment is that shot against OKC, because as a hooper, everybody dreams of doing something similar to that, shutting a crowd up for the game. And the fact that he pulled it as far as he did, we all knew it was coming. The OKC bench knew it was coming. Their coach, Billy Donovan, saw it was coming, and they still couldn't stop it. And as a defender, you don't, even though Steph revolutionized the game, you don't expect anybody to take a three that far. And for him to take it for the game, it was just insane. And, you know, like I said, I respect Steph a lot. And even though I used to talk so much smack about him, it's just because of certain individuals. But he's one of my favorite players of all time, and that is my favorite moment. And I really wanted to say this, but when he shot the way that he did in the All-Star, the most recent All-Star,
Yeah,
my
man,
God.
that was electric.
Yeah, so those are my two favorite ones, and it's really close, but I'm gonna take that Steph shot. So, yeah, happy birthday, Steph.
Yeah, I mean that OKC shot was ridiculous. My favorite is when he dribbled through the Clippers and just like hit that step back with Steve Kerr going like that was. I saw that live on I think it was Christmas Day, and that was just one of the most insane things I've ever seen live, and it was just crazy. That was when Oracle like it was rocking when it was actually like real fans there, not these corporate businesses.
Facts.
It's that was the craziest thing, and I think that's my favorite Steph moment. So gotta go with that one. But that's gonna do it for us. Check out our links down in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But that's gonna do it for us. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.